Wait, let's see how strictly following rules can actually make your life better. Don't ever have to do much critical thinking since you have the rules. You and the teacher or manager will become best buds, and you'll naturally repel most people away, giving you more alone time. Now, the only problem with all this is that you become a little in the process. So obviously, strictly following the rules doesn't make you the most liked person in school, work, and life in general. Plus, you get all those pesky nicknames like the teacher's pet, the boss's etc. It's a bit of a sad existence. Trust me, I've lived an embarrassing amount of my life strictly following rules. And it sucked. There wasn't much happening for me because most things in life didn't fit within the rules. And the worst part about all this was that I didn't even realize I was living like this. So in this video, we're going to go a little deeper into this topic so that you won't make the same mistake. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, what the heck does a person's life look like when they strictly follow rules? For starters, this is what I imagine. Alright guys, so E equals MC squared. Does anyone know what the E is? Because I don't. Teacher! He's not paying attention. Junior, put your phone away. I am sick and tired of all this you scrolling and everything. Put it away. Why can't you be like him? Why not? Why can you not be like him? He pays attention. He's a good student. He follows all the rules. Anyways, class, so what was I? So E equals MC squared. The E is... Okay, besides looking like an overgrown teacher's pet, there are some recurring traits for someone living a life based on following rules strictly. They are always by the book. Whether it's for a small or big decision, they resort to some form of rules or manuals to justify their decisions, completely disregarding the context. They also have very little imagination. They can't come up with anything new since they are bound by rules and can't venture outside of it. So they swear off variety and live boring and predictable lives. And the worst sign of all is being completely risk-averse. I mean, cannot tolerate any amount of risk. Risk means chaos. Risk means leaving the rules and living like animals. I know, it's a sad life when you're being ruled by rules. In fact, people who live like this are similar to robots, where the rules are the program and they can't operate outside of it. Alright, so we have a general idea of what a person's life looks like when they follow rules strictly. But let's go deeper and understand some of the reasons why living like that can ruin your life. When people follow rules strictly, they believe this one lie. This lie is so crucial to their belief system around rules that crushing it will destroy their world. And if you guys have watched any of my videos, you know I love destroying worlds. So the lie that people believe in when they strictly follow rules is that being obedient means that they'll be taken care of. I mean, it's a simple logic where they follow the rules and they should be rewarded for it. Whether that reward is a promotion at work, being more popular, or being more successful. Yet, none of these things happen, and they probably won't happen in the future. Well, they might get that promotion to a middle management role, but that's it. The problem with strictly following rules is that you're not taking full responsibility for your life. You think that you'll be taken care of because you followed all the rules, but in the real world, that's not how it works. In fact, you're making yourself much more vulnerable to the shitty parts of life. Because when the rules change, or there's new situations the rules didn't account for, you're screwed. It's as if you can't use the creative or adaptable side of your brain since you've been repressing it all these years. If you don't believe me, here's some rare footage of a man who strictly follows rules and encounters a new situation. Hey counselor, how's it going? Hey, it's going well. Come here, take a seat. Well, to be honest counselor, I just got myself a girlfriend and I'm about to have sex, but I'm not sure how to go about it. Do you have any tips? Sir, it's a simple question, and I'm sure you engage in a decent amount of sex, right? Get out of my office. Besides breaking down in public, there is something far worse that happens when you strictly follow rules and get nothing in return. You build resentment towards life. Let me tell you a story of my personal experience of building resentment towards life. When I graduated from university, I was happy and ready to take on the world. But little did Bulcha know, the world was ready to take him on. So soon after graduating, I started applying for jobs. And after a couple of months, I was able to find a job at a local startup. I was thinking, finally, my life is headed somewhere. However, after 3 months, I got laid off. So back again on the job hunt. And I was thinking, it shouldn't be hard. I'm educated, have superior social skills, and a little bit of experience. Well, it took me over a year to find another job relevant to my career. But nonetheless, I was ready to move my career forward. However, after 8 months, I got laid off again. I was so frustrated with life. I mean, I did everything right. I was a good boy, got an education, and rarely caused trouble. Yet nothing worked out for me. This hurt because all those years of following rules and being a good and educated individual got me nowhere. I started resenting life, my emotions were getting out of control, and that's when I decided to go seek a therapist. It makes sense that someone would build resentment. You look around and you see everyone else doing well except for you, but you have to remember, when you have resentment, it's like shackling yourself. You can't move forward with it. And to ensure that we don't let resentment hold us back, we have to take full responsibility for our lives. And we do this by relying less on rules and by embracing the chaos in life. To be honest, there isn't one surefire way to do this. This is something we all have to learn on our own. And when I say learn on your own, that means learning to embrace chaos by yourself. Everyone is different, and what works for me doesn't mean it will work for everyone. But with that being said, we can discuss some things that may help you learn to embrace chaos. So the first thing to accept is that life is messy. It's not neat and orderly like the rules. And if you fight this will only cause more frustration because you are asking a wild world to fit in your nice, orderly box. Another way to embrace chaos is to learn to voluntarily seek variety. When you seek variety, you will be infusing more randomness and emotion into life. Whether something turns out to be good or bad, it doesn't matter because it helps you learn to embrace a little bit of chaos and the emotions that follow them. This is key because when you learn to feel your emotions that come with chaos, you're training yourself to deal with the bigger chaotic events that will eventually come into your life. Compare this to always following the rules, where it takes the fun out of life, it becomes predictable, and you don't get to experience the chaos and the varied emotions. Then when a random chaotic event comes out of nowhere and slaps you silly, it leaves you confused and with conflicting emotions. And lastly, to embrace chaos, you have to learn to trust yourself. I think the reason why a lot of people follow rules too intensely is that they don't trust themselves. And by having the rules, it takes away that responsibility away from them. But you can't live like that. You have to accept 100% responsibility for your life, and this means not relying on rules. You have to trust yourself because as life progresses, you are going to encounter a lot of new situations that no rules can ever help. When you make it a habit to trust yourself, then it will be simpler in dealing with new situations you have never encountered in your life. Okay, but some of you are probably thinking this: shouldn't we be following rules? Otherwise, things would be anarchy. Listen, I'm not saying to go all V for vendetta. So when you're at school, yes, follow the rules. When you're at work, yes, follow the rules. When you're driving, for the love of God, yes, follow the rules. Rules are for their respective places or context, but rules will never help you with the messiness of life. When you have a crisis in life, what rules are going to give you clarity? When you fail at something, what rules are going to give you direction? When you get hurt, what rules are going to assure you of the future? You can't rely on rules because rules were made for their specific context. So you have to rely on yourself. And don't get me wrong, this is scary because you have to take responsibility in navigating your life and trusting yourself. But when you learn to do this, this will allow you to have a zest for life because you know that no matter what happens, you know you're going to be okay. Whether it's meeting new people, finding a new job, getting heartbroken, standing up for yourself, etc. It doesn't matter because you know that no matter what, you're gonna be fine. And that feeling and trust in yourself is what helps make life worth living. Alright, before this video gets too serious, let's hop onto the summary. Signs a person's life is based on strictly following rules are They are always by the book. They have very little imagination. They are completely risk averse. Following rules strictly can ruin your life by thinking you will be rewarded for obedience, but you really don't, not taking full responsibility for your life, and making you build resentment towards life. To rely less on rules and embrace chaos, start off by accepting that life is messy, voluntarily seeking variety in life, trusting yourself more. We should follow rules for their specific context, but we shouldn't expect the rules to solve all our problems. We need to rely on ourselves and trust ourselves more to deal with the many situations life will throw at us. Okay, so for next steps, make a plan to always remind yourself that you need to take full responsibility for your life and that following rules cannot save you. You want to make sure that those two things are ingrained in your head. And then at a later point, rewatch this video to get more of a complete gist of it. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Please show me some love. Like this video, comment, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my email list. And guys, remember, you're not just any type of nerd. You're a charismatic nerd.